All right, here we are. It's we got Joe List, everybody. You know him. He's got multiple specials, tens of millions of views, lots of Tonight Show appearances. Actually, my favorite Tonight Show set ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
The one about the Malibu house, first class seats.
Yeah.
That's worse. I think that's right up our alley. We talk about air travel a lot.
Oh, thank you.
But Sass, I don't mean to step on your toes. Why don't you bring us in?
Yeah, all right. Welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. We are here live from...
We're going to need a clap, brother.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Oh, wow. It feels like you guys really hate each other. And I am here for it.
Joe got a little glimpse into the behind the scenes of me and Francis.
Well, I went to the bathroom and they were fist fighting down the hallway. By the way, do you have an ashtray?
It was.
Is there an ashtray? We didn't think any of this through.
Are you surprised? Given
No
what you've
cigar
seen,
cutter,
Joe?
no ashtray. Can we let the people behind the curtain of what's happening here? Because I
Yes.
want to make sure I am in the fucking clear on this.
Basically, I didn't know we were doing cigars today. I didn't know we were doing a cigar episode. There's stuff that goes into that. Mainly, we have to let the people who work on our floor know that we're going to smoke cigars and there's nothing they can do about it. And HR has told us that when we want to do this, we have to give people heads up so that they have the option to move desks to the downstairs legally. And we have to let them know ahead of time, and it's okay if we do it. We just need to let them know. We need to get the air purifier going, all these things. You know, none of that. We hadn't done any of that. I was concerned, perhaps overly so, for the benefit of my coworkers, but I'm probably being a total bitch. These guys made a great point. We're just having fun, and this is not an abnormal thing to do. Smoke cigars on the pod. I think that when you tell me we're going to smoke cigars, I feel the way that Casey Affleck felt in Good Will Hunting when they pulled up to the basketball court and Ben Affleck goes, "You're going. You're
if you're
going."
out there in 2 seconds, we're going to burn the cigars on your tits.
I don't want to fight a stranger. I don't want to smoke a cigar today in the middle of the day. I got stuff to do. I had a workout planned. All my plans are out the window. So, here we are.
Awesome. And I want to say I have nothing to do with this. Like, I don't want the heat from the up top people. I don't want Dave Portnoy fucking knocking on my door. And I don't want you, Francis, my colleague, my pal, to think this has anything to do with me because they say, "Hey, we love cigars. Don't you love cigars?" And I said, "I do love cigars."
We were showing our hand, and we didn't really anticipate Joe jumping on it. We were like,
jump.
We were like,
didn't
occasionally
jump.
we'll smoke a cigar. We were like, "You're a cigar guy, right?" And
I
he's
said,
like,
"You smoke cigars in here? That's crazy." I literally was like, "That's insane that they let you smoke cigars."
Those were his
They
exact
don't.
words.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
There is, yeah. Well, let's put it this way, Joe. We don't do it barely ever, really. And I think the fact that you're here is why we are doing it.
We do this every episode.
And therefore, this is on you.
But I did not say, "Hey, I have a clause in my contract. I smoke cigars."
It's in your rider. It's in your rider.
By the way, you can tell you're not supposed to smoke in here because normally if you smoke indoors, the smoke gets pulled up by a fucking, what do you call it?
A humidifier,
An
a
HVAC
Smoke
fan
eater,
of
it's
some
called.
sort.
I know they call it a smoke eater. I don't know how it works, but this just sits right in my
Oh,
face. Like it's just
yeah.
a cloud of
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah, you're not
You're
going to
gonna
feel
get-
well after this.
You're gonna get
No.
100% of that cigar.
I hate smoking indoors too if it's not.
Oh my
I
god!
never smoke indoors.
After all that,
Well, I'm sure there's a window somewhere. We got the air purifier.
This is a year gone from your life on the back end.
That's okay.
Do you feel that way? What would you be able to? Would you bargain years knowing the outcome?
isn't this a episode of Black Mirror that just came out?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Is that true?
Or there's a new movie or something coming out where the whole premise is that they pay with their lives.
I think
Like
that's
to
that
tip.
Justin Timberlake movie called Something Time.
Oh yeah, you might be right. I might have just saw it on Instagram.
And he's got the you have like the how much time you have on your wrist.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like a barcode, and they play poker bargaining with years.
And they'll like
right.
tip a bartender. They'll be like, "Here, take 2 weeks."
Yeah, and rich people have. Yeah, it was a little corny, but interesting concept.
Good premise.
Yeah.
Great idea for a Black Mirror episode. I don't know about a full movie.
Wait, so what's the premise of the question? What was the question going to be?
Joe, we don't answer questions on
Okay,
this
I was
pod.
excited for the
We
question.
posit theories and general inquiries, and we leave them untied.
Great,
We kind of
Do not expect resolution here.
but I want to live. I would like to live, but cigars don't kill you. It takes smoking. I think the people don't actually get they get cancer. I don't want to sound like fucking whatever, but only like 10% of people that smoke cigarettes chronically get cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, your lungs are fucked up. There's heart disease. It's not good for you. It's like the worst thing for you. But there's people that smoke for years and years and years, decades.
Yeah, my
Joey
grandfather smoked 3 packs a day for like 30 years, and he didn't get cancer.
Yeah.
He's dead, but he died from COVID.
I mean, David Lynch just died. He died. A fucking tough cold knocked him out.
A respiratory illness.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
His defenses
Lungs.
were weakened.
No, it's
Well,
not
he's
no
not-
correlation. I don't want to act like smoking is good, but they make it seem like if you smoke cigarettes, you're just going to get cancer and die. But, people do it. And cigars, I think there's something healthy about them because it's very relaxing.
Oh, yeah.
Not if you do it at work, obviously, but people that are famous for smoking, you think of Mark Twain, Bill Cosby, George Burns,
Ulysses S. Grant.
Ulysses S. Grant.
I've been on a big Grant kick lately. I reference him in every episode.
Love it. Churchill, another one.
Oh, yeah.
These are all cigar guys that lived late in life.
Well, Grant didn't live that late, but he did have 18 to 20 cigars a day.
That's too many.
Yeah, we talked about this last episode. That was I don't even understand how that's possible.
And as he was dying with a gigantic growth on his tongue, which
Ah,
was so clearly from his smoking, his wife, through many medical experts' opinions, absolutely vehemently denied that it had any correlation to his smoking habits.
she would have been a great Rogan guest.
Wasn't that the whole thing though? Is that everyone denied that smoking was bad for you forever?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Like there's like old videos of like people in the hospital with lung cancer and they're still smoking and the doctors are smoking.
Sort of the premise of Mad Men.
Yeah.
Yeah. That they, as advertisers, want to dissuade purchasers from believing that cigarettes are bad for you.
Interesting.
There's also like a commercial, like 3 out of 4 doctors prefer Marlboro or something.
Yeah,
Those kind of things. But I think a cigar, I do feel like there's something, obviously it's bad for your mouth and tongue and you can die. I mean, I can just feel people emailing me being like, you're a piece of shit, you're going to die. But with cigars, there is something about sitting and socializing and pausing and the breathing. I think it's pretty healthy.
Yeah. I mean, isn't there kind of like shit like that with alcohol too, where they're like drinking like 2 beers a night is good for you because it makes you socialize?
I'm not sure if that's the right. They
No.
used to say it was a glass of red wine.
Right.
But it's like, well, you could probably get the same benefit from eating a bunch of grapes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prune juice or something. I think
Yeah.
alcohol, now I'm seeing more and more studies that alcohol is like the worst thing for
Oh,
you
yeah.
ever. It fucks up your metabolism and your heart and
Yeah.
all that shit.
Makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to think that hard.
No, you don't have to think really at
It's
all.
a depressant. It's toxic. It's terrible.
Joe, you made a movie in Maine.
Yeah. Well, it takes place in Maine. We actually shot it in New York but it's Maine.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't know that.
I feel terrible now.
Well, I was excited because I'm
Um,
from Maine.
I know you are. The only 1-syllable state. I love Maine. You know that we talk about it every time. I'm a Maine guy.
Yes.
But yeah, the whole movie takes place in Maine, but we shot in New York because it was easier.
Wow.
I feel
Where
like
did you
you're
guys-
devastated.
did you guys
I'm
shoot
so
upstate?
sorry.
Taking the shortcut.
You look as upset as you did when you found out there was a plan to smoke cigars. By the way, can I just say once, I don't want to linger on the cigars. I thought 100% we weren't going to smoke cigars when you reacted this way, and you really stayed steady with that.
Have to. You gotta hold your ground.
I don't win often in this room.
There
It's
will
crazy
be.
'cause I
I
feel
will
like-
face backlash for that. Though.
Yeah, I
as
feel
soon
like-
as you're gone, me and Francis are gonna go 14
Nope.
rounds.
It just feels like you have superiority. You're older, you're bigger, you're more attractive.
You have no idea what it's like to argue with him.
No, I don't.
Facts are irrelevant. Truth is irrelevant. It's an abstract
was.
concept.
When you said it felt like you were at your friend's house and the parents were fighting, it was like we were standing in the hallway like,
Well, I went to the
having, like,
bathroom
a-
and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to hear this.
Yeah, having like a genuine argument, and then I looked out of the corner and I saw you walk into the
Oh, it's
bathroom.
terrible.
And we stepped like one step over to the wall where you wouldn't be able to see us.
I think that speaks to our comfortability with Joe.
Oh, great. True.
And knowing that I don't think that you are truly someone I feel as a friend, and
Thank you.
I adore you and do not feel weird arguing with him in front of
Okay,
you.
good. No, I thought you were going to win for sure. I think I might see you tonight, right? Are you at the stand tonight?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
We'll feel nauseous.
We're not going to feel good.
It'll be
That'll be fun.
Boy, those two guys in a row had pretty yellow teeth.
That'll be fun. But anyways, yeah, I made a movie in Maine because I've been vacationing in Maine my whole life.
Where do you go?
Booth Bay Harbor.
Beautiful.
It's spectacular.
That walking bridge with the little
Yeah,
hut
yeah,
right
yeah.
on it. Oh, that's stunning across the harbor there.
Yeah. It would blow my mind to bump into you one day in Booth Bay Harbor.
Well, that's a little north of me, but it's really great. That's up by Camden, Rockland, right?
Yeah.
Kind of on the way up there.
Yeah. It was Booth Bay, Wiscasset, and Bath.
Yep.
They make
Bath
the
Bath
ships.
Iron Works.
Yeah.
There's a place called Red's, I think.
Yeah, Red's Eats.
Which
That's in
always has a
Wiscasset.
huge line out
Yes.
the door. And also that one road that comes in through there, there's always so much traffic.
Yes, Wiscasset is like horrendous. Like you drive 5 hours from New York to Maine, it's great. You cruise, and then you hit Wiscasset. It's all backed up, and it's because there's 300 people in line at Red's Eats.
Yeah.
to get
But
little
as soon
lobster
as you
rolls.
get past Red's, you get onto the bridge and it's smooth sailing all the way up to Bar Harbor.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's like going to the Hamptons a little bit. There's just that one residential road, but it's lovely.
Fantastic.
Bar
Ju-
Harbor.
Yeah.
Where's Bar Harbor?
That's Acadia. That's where the National
I
Park
was gonna
is.
say, I think I've been there. Yeah,
It's
I
about
have.
hour and a half, 2 hours east of Bangor, kind of northern Maine,
Yeah.
northeast Maine, but still not as northern as
Prescott.
Calais and what's the
Caribou.
Caribou is
Caribou,
exactly
yeah.
right.
I
You guys
did a
ever-
road gig there, Caribou and Presque Isle.
Where did you play in Caribou?
I have no idea. This is the first road gig I ever did. It was probably 2001. It might have been like the towers were up still. I mean, we drove 10 hours to go up there, and I think I made $50. And I drove my '87 Buick Century, and I was like, I fucking made it. And there was a big giant guy, like a Caribou Maine guy. Like he was like 6'4", 280. And I can't remember why, but during my friend Tony Moschetto's set, he walked onto the stage. Like Tony was doing some kind of crowd work. And the guy like got up on stage. He didn't like beat him up or anything. But
Yeah.
he was like doing a bit like, look how much bigger I am than this guy. And the crowd was like, yeah, Jimmy. It was insane. And then we randomly saw him at the mall the next day. That's my memory of Caribou.
The Maine Mall? No,
Whatever the Caribou Presque
that's
Isle.
not Maine Mall's in Portland. But I didn't know. I thought that was our only mall.
In
I
all
mean,
of
it was. I
Maine.
mean, mall. I'm using loosely. It was
Yeah.
like it was probably a Sears and a Filene's and a Jordan's furniture or the Jordan's basement.
I
whatever the
wouldn't
fuck
have
it's called.
known they would have that type of infrastructure up there at that point in Maine. But
yeah,
I did in COVID, the first gig I did when we were allowed to start performing again was up near there. Not quite in Caribou, but it was at a hunting lodge in northern Maine. And the only way to get there was by taking logging roads.
oh wow.
So we went from paved roads to dirt roads for the last hour and a half of the drive. And I'm telling you, dude, I mean, it's like clan country.
Yeah, Maine is like you start seeing Confederate flags
Yes.
and stuff up there. It's crazy. By the way, where are we ashing? You had an ash and now it's gone.
I ashed on just the table.
All right.
Feel free to ash wherever
Joe,
you
This feels
need.
like a very nice space here.
Eat the ash. Eat it.
I mean,
We're eating it. Leave no trace.
All right.
I usually
mean,
just
am
rub it into my pants
Oh
slowly.
yeah, crack that door open. Really get. Oh, this is for ashing. Oh, I see. Thank you very much.
Your own
Boy.
personal Stella Blue ashtray.
Oh my god, this is gonna be terrible. Yeah.
just venting the studio out into the fucking. Oh, the people who do our expense reports, clear purchases we make on the road.
I just picture all of those people being like, what's happening? They probably fucking think we're on fire.
Well, it was like I didn't really know how we were going to go about because they did say the last time we did, they sent an email saying we have to give them a heads up before we do it, and I didn't really know how we were going to go about that when we went out there. And then
Usually, the answer would be you send the email.
you sent an email. Francis took
Boy, how do we go about letting them know?
Francis took the lead on it, And he did a good job, but it was uncomfortable. He just went and stood at their desks and was like, "Hello, everybody. We're going to smoke cigars. If you want to move, you can move." And then they all kind of just turned and were like, "What?"
Yeah, and he goes, "Boy, that went well." They didn't mind.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like speak now or hold your...
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
We're going to throat fuck you for the next 45 minutes. Just thought we should give you the heads up.
But from a distance, most
cigars
people
smell great.
Most people like the smell of cigars.
Outside on a screened-in porch.
Oh, but especially on tonight, where it's like
summer.
It's like a nice day out. Like
Yeah.
people are like, this feels like summer.
They tell them
feels like
they're
a weekend.
welcome to
Fuck
go
outta
outside.
Yeah,
If
tell
you
them they can
guys are
come.
upset.
We got extra. Tell them I got the $7 cigars. They can come smoke with us.
It's a beautiful day here in the Garment District. You can go stroll around.
We talked to Dave. He said everyone gets to smoke cigars at work today.
I don't know much about this Dave Portnoy fella. I just kind of see him pop up. I'm not.
Yeah.
But he seems like a guy that would be like, fuck the bozos. Let them smoke, right?
It depends on it depends on who's smoking the cigars.
I think we are those kind of guys.
I think so too.
I think Dave would like me very much.
I think he would too. I think
Look at,
he likes all of us. Yeah,
There you go.
Boston.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we're all from the Boston area.
How about that?
Are you from Boston?
I'm from Massachusetts. I mean, I'm from Whitman, Massachusetts.
Where's that?
It's next to Brockton.
Yeah.
About 35 minutes south of Boston.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I used to play hockey in Brockton all the time.
Really?
Yeah. That was
they
like the
have
first time I ever saw like a group of black people like sitting on a staircase.
Oh, I thought you were going to say on skates because I still haven't seen that.
No.
I remember I went to
Wait, hold on a second, Joe. I'm so sorry. What?
when you watch like Boys in the Hood and it's like they're sitting on the stairs.
Not usually at an ice rink.
Well, no, I meant driving
on
through
the way.
Brockton.
Yeah, I understand. On the commute
Okay,
in, you
I
saw a
see.
group of black kids, you got a little nervous. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A stoop. Yeah, they were posting up on a stoop.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I stared.
I remember this is like a long time ago. I went to a comedy show at Nick's Comedy Stop in Brockton, and my friend Derek made me laugh so hard. We got out of the car, and he looked around and he went, "Well, looks like we're playing a road game tonight, boys." And I still use that term anytime I'm in a neighborhood that's mixed race. Road game.
Man.
I mean, Maine, you must have it must have been quite an alarming when you saw a group of African-American fellas.
Well, yeah. I mean, as I've said before, when I was in high school or middle school, there was a big immigration wave from Northeast Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Somalia, Sudan,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Ethiopia. And they settled in Maine.
Yeah, that's interesting. Minneapolis, massive
That's it.
Somalian
Yeah.
population.
That's where they cast the whole movie of Captain Phillips.
Is that right?
All those guys were from Minneapolis.
No
Really?
kidding.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why because they come from a pretty warm climate, and to settle in two
Minneapolis.
unbelievably cold places seems, like you're punishing yourself or something. I don't know.
But maybe the cold is like exciting for them. They're like, we love it here. It's cold. I'm not good at voices. That sounded, I don't know what that sounded. Har, so cold.
Yeah,
here.
that sounded more like Irish than
Yeah.
it did African.
But I'm always fascinated by things like that. That I watched a documentary on a Delta flight called, I don't know, Mr. Donut or the Donut King.
Yeah.
And like 85% of donut shops in America are run by Vietnamese people.
Really?
Because it's just one Vietnamese immigrant comes and they're like, hey, we like donuts here. It's
Yeah.
just dough and fucking sugar. And he was like, I'll do that. And then his cousin comes and he's
Yeah.
like, dude, you should make donuts.
Yeah.
And then the uncle comes and he makes donuts. And then the friend, and you can't get a donut that's not made by a Vietnamese person.
Yeah. 50% of motels are owned by Indian people.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How
I
about
think it's
that?
actually over 50%. That's a reoccurring fact on this show.
We talk about that a lot. The
I
Patels.
love it's one of my good facts.
The
I like to throw
Patels
it out when I
bought all
can.
the motels.
No kidding. Patel Motel.
Yeah. All of them.
And it's just because they did the cost for the neon signage and realized they only had to change 2 letters.
That's like, the story of the comedy club Giggles in Seattle. It was a strip club before called Jiggles.
Hmm.
Or no, vice versa. It was Giggle. That's what it was. That makes more sense. It was Giggles got bought out and became a strip club, and then they left the sign and they just took off the front neon and just called it Jiggles.
That's great.
That's pretty
It's a great
good.
idea.
Great titty bar
Cost
name.
effective. Yeah.
Jiggles.
Jiggles is a good titty bar name. I would go in there.
Absolutely.
See some jiggling.
I would go if they called it Pete's. The name doesn't mean that much to me. It's the tits I enjoy.
Pete's, also known as now Teats.
Teats is a good name.
They went to Teats.
I
Yeah.
like that.
From Pete's.
Formerly
just
Pete's.
Switched the E and the T, and yeah, you guys get it. Well,
It is smoky.
It is smoky in here. Is it a pain? We can put them out.
No way. That would be hilarious if we just bailed on this now.
no, I am committed.
No. Now we got to smoke all of them. We
I'm
should smoke
going a
everything
whole-
over there.
Whole bag.
Yeah, we can go for like 6 hours and just bank episodes for the rest of the year.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Our other host, Roan. Do
I
you
was
know
telling
Roan?
I don't know if I know Roan. Jim
Roan
Roan?
Adam Ferrone.
is
Ah.
yeah, he's a friend to the groups that sit on the stoops that Harry was talking about.
Yeah.
I
very
never got
urban.
in good with the stoop folks.
He's
No.
a battle rapper.
Oh, really?
Well, he
Mhm.
was. He was a battle. I think he stopped when he was like 28, and he's 36 now. So I think he's been out of it for a while. But
He's gone back. He's done
did a
some
couple.
since. But he just had twins.
Oh, I heard that.
yeah,
and,
That was the conversation right before the cigar.
that was
conversation.
yeah.
We were doing okay for a bit, just the two of us. And then in our last episode, everyone said we can't take any more
Of Roan?
of
us.
us.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't
Jeez.
like us.
So that's why we are so glad that you're here.
Oh,
today.
sure. I'll be Roan.
Shane texted us yesterday.
Yeah, and he said the episode. Said the episode Tuesday sucked.
He goes, "You guys, without Roan, you've lost your juice."
Oh, geez. Maybe
Which-
I'll get
yeah.
it back. Is Shane watching?
He's watching.
That
Oh,
was the
yeah.
most shocking thing, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Shane, I've sent back-to-back Notre Dame texts. No response here. I mean, I know
He's tough to get a reply out of.
he's selling a lot of tickets and has famous friends, but I mean, I'm trying to pander with these Notre Dame texts.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything back.
There's not much he needs, is what I've found. Because
Right.
I've thought about presenting him with gifts to get text back myself.
Sure.
And in fact,
I mean, you'd have to buy him a.
I almost sent him this link to this art gallery that is selling these amazing paintings from this very cool Cuban artist I found that does these kind of abstract Civil War / modern modern paintings that are really cool, and I thought they'd be right up his alley. And I drafted the text, put the link in, deleted it, tried a different way, deleted it, and then I just bailed.
Yeah, that's rough. Well, it's hard. I think it's hard when you're friends with someone who becomes huge. It's much better to be friends with someone when they're already huge.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
I remember having this conversation because I became close with Louis C.K. when he was really huge, pre the whole thing. And I would just text him when I had a thought. I'd be like, "Oh man, I'm gay, whatever."
Yeah,
And then I was with a friend who was like a friend of his for 25 years. He's like, "You just text him like that?"
yeah.
And I was like, haven't you been friends for 25 years? He's like, "But now he's at the Oscars." And so it's much easier.
Yeah.
When your friends blow up, you're like, they probably hate me now.
But I think that's easy for you to say. I don't have that. I can't become friends with people. People of that status they're not gonna give me their phone number.
They might.
I disagree.
I don't think I'm good enough
Oh, you're good
Oh.
enough.
at comedy. You know what I mean?
First of all, you're a wonderful comedian.
Oh, that's
but
so kind.
Also,
You really think so?
you're just a nice guy. I
Oh.
mean, people want to be friends with nice guys. I think you're not. I mean, you might think differently. You might
Oh
feel
no,
harassed.
Francis is a great guy. I love
Oh, okay.
Francis.
I wasn't sure.
We get along well. We
Oh, okay.
have a very a fun sort of brotherly rapport where somehow I'm the younger brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused by. I
And
thought
he-
you would just hang him upside down and
He
like
just beats me.
take his change.
Yeah, he beats me and stuffs me in a locker, tells me to go fuck myself, and I succumb.
no.
I acquiesce.
None of that is true. I'm very friendly with Francis. We get in disagreements here and there, but we keep it moving. And it is funny because we do get in big arguments, and then right after it kind of just goes away.
Now, here's something I'm interested in because you seem to have two producer type fellas, and neither one of them is wearing headphones or anything. Like we could be not even recording.
Yeah, we watched the
You just-
audio right there.
Oh wow, you watched your own audio because you just have two men that are just adding to the smoke and don't seem to be doing anything.
They monitor it as well.
Oh, okay.
They're monitoring they monitor the cameras, and then we kind of just do honor code for the audio.
They're not even looking at a monitor or listening to feedback. It's just like it literally looks like just two men adding to the smoke, which I'm for. I would love if none of this recorded and you guys just got in deep shit and it's not even an episode.
That happens.
That's
Trust me, that
happened-
happens.
that's
That
happened
happens
a
all
few
the time.
times.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we just lost an episode because our producer took a phone call and kicked over the recorder in the middle of the
Ah.
episode.
Tough.
Now, can you doc pay for that? Because this is Mark Norman and I. We don't like confrontation. We always feel like we're wrong. Like you're saying, you just feel like an idiot.
I feel wrong at everything I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this one you
What?
probably should.
Really?
Every decision I make in my life, I'm like, yep, that's the wrong decision.
I have to say, that is a stunning revelation. And I mean this because you have more confidence in your point of view than anyone I've ever met. And I credit you with that.
Oh, yeah, but even in like when we were having the conversation about the cigars in the back of my head, I was like, I'm a fucking asshole.
Well,
I
fake it till
shouldn't
you
be
make
doing
it,
this.
though. That's good.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready to kill myself. If you guys get in any amount of trouble, I will take my own life. That's a guarantee.
Then it's not looking good for your future.
Now, what are some opinions that you have that are hardcore? Because I like to debate.
I don't have any like crazy opinions. I mean, typically how this show goes is we'll talk about, Delta. We're big Delta guys.
Huge Delta.
Yeah.
Diamond 3 years running.
Of course.
And I earn it. Mine's just miles and money. I don't have the card or anything.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to get the card.
I have a card, but I have a corporate card because I'm in corporate. So I use the corporate card because it's easier for taxes. I don't use the Delta card.
You're talking about you have a business card for your comedy career?
Yeah. So I just use that.
What do you have, an Amex?
It's a Chase business.
Those are good though. Those are
The
good.
points.
Yeah,
to
no,
miles?
I don't even convert the points.
But
to miles.
you got to get on the
United.
Delta Amex Reserve because don't say United.
Well, if you're a Chase man, United would be your go-to airline.
You're telling him to switch
I
airlines,
hate
but
United.
yeah, exactly.
Really?
United sucks.
I'm
Thank you.
I'm a United. I'm a Delta.
You said
man.
you're a Delta guy.
I am, but recently I've been leaning United.
been
Delta
trying.
man, United guy. No, United sucks. Delta's like the greatest company of all time. I love Delta.
Delta, I mean, their fleet though, it's aging
He's
poorly.
a scab. He's a scab.
You're out of your fucking mind.
No,
Tiger's
no,
fresh.
no.
Yeah.
Have you been on like a nice United flight recently?
I wouldn't be caught dead on the
Yeah,
United
you gotta
flight.
give it a try.
My God, music to my ears.
You got to give it a try.
No, I flew
United's got
United
some
one
good
time because I
flights.
went to Chicago to Missoula, like direct, so I had to fly
Yeah.
United. But no, they suck.
Oh yeah.
Delta, the lounge, the colors, the women, it's all
It's
beautiful.
great. It's really it's almost sort of a nod to the past with a wave to the future.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You should be in one of those rooms with the
You know,
sales guys.
yeah,
that was
you should.
beautiful.
I-
I got
I've
a
been-
tear in my eye.
I've been meaning to approach you with some ideas for
Please.
things we could do.
I could honestly see.
But I have to
Francis-
run them by him first.
I could see you being one of the guys that they play for like the safety demonstration on the
Yeah.
TV.
Absolutely.
Yeah, folding up an oxygen mask.
You're a
Yeah.
stunningly attractive man. Don't you
That's-
think?
Don't you think he could be in White Lotus season 4?
I never saw White. I don't know about White Lotus. There's a lot
great.
of things I hear about. I don't know.
It's
much about.
great.
I hate television. This is my hot take.
You
I
don't
hate
like
TV.
television in general?
No, you know why? Because it's fucking 75 hours. Just give me a 90-minute story.
That is true. A lot of them, they really are dragging out the miniseries these days.
I started watching what's the fucking I mentioned him earlier, the David Lynch show.
Mindhunter.
No. Twin Peaks. When I was a boy, I'm a lot older than you. I'm 43. When I was a kid, I was like 10 when Twin Peaks came out.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was like some silly drama. And then years later, I found out it was David Lynch and it's a murder and it's funny and it's wacky. So I was like, I got to give this a try. And I watched the pilot and I was like on the edge. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I was smiling ear to ear. And then I watched episode 2 and 3. And then I'm like, wait, there's 60 more hours of this fucking thing?
Yeah.
It's tough to get into a show that's like starting like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is a 3-year commitment that I'm making
Ooh.
getting into this.
I mean,
But Breaking Bad is a phenomenal show.
yeah, the pilot's gripping. Joe, I mean, have you watched The Sopranos?
Oh boy, you're gonna get me in trouble.
No, I mean, I don't know judgment.
I haven't watched it either.
I don't love The Sopranos, and I had to change my story. I used to say I hate The Sopranos and it sucked, and then people got very mad at me, and I had to start saying I don't like television in general.
Mm.
The thing I struggle with Sopranos is, first of all, Stevie Van Zandt is the guitarist in one of my favorite bands, and now he's just in the fucking show, and he has like a rubber wig on, and he's like, "Oh, whoa!" And it just feels so over the top and silly. And I get it. Gandolfini's great and all the stuff, but I've watched many episodes. I don't really get it.
He did another show where he basically played exactly the same character on Netflix, I think it was, where he went to some location where they had the Winter Olympics in Norway,
Okay.
and he was in witness protection, but he was a gangster. Any idea on what that?
Goodfellas?
These guys don't even have computers in front of them.
Yeah,
They're just over there
Lily-
smoking and kind of half watching.
Lilyhammer. I think it was called
Oh,
Lilyhammer.
Lilyhammer. I remember those Olympics.
Yeah, and so he did a show, but I don't and I say it was on Netflix, and I only say that because I remember we got the DVDs from Netflix in the mail back when they were pre-streaming.
Way back.
Yeah.
You were 9.
Oh yeah, I was really young.
How old are you? 23?
24.
24. Wow.
Just turned 24.
That's a fun age.
Yeah. Is it?
I don't know.
I don't really do anything fun.
Mine was a little hazy, I gotta tell you. My 20s weren't so hot.
Yeah. When did you stop drinking?
12 and a half years ago. I was 30. I had just turned 30. Well, I was like 30 and a half, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, the hangovers start hitting you hard when you're 30. You drink a little?
I drink.
Yeah.
He
Do you
drinks.
find like when you're done, like when I was 25, I would drink and play basketball the next morning. Like I would black out and throw up, and then the next day play hoops.
It's funny.
Yeah,
like,
that was my. I
woo!
couldn't do. I stopped drinking a year and a half ago, and my hangovers were just like I couldn't do anything at all. So I don't even know what they would be like when I turned 30. But it was like I would be late for like a 1 p.m. show that we did here.
But were you depressed, or you were just like physically?
I would
fucking
drink
destroyed?
until like 5 a.m. and then
Right.
I'd have to wake up and go to the office.
Yeah.
And it was kind of. It wasn't even like I was. It wasn't like I was like drinking alone or anything. It was. I just got caught up in comedy and
Sure,
just getting
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hammered every night.
I just want to say, you said you would drink and play basketball. Yesterday, for whatever fucking reason, I decided to play basketball
Mhm.
for the first time in years. And I played 4 pickup games, and then I went drinking. And I don't think I slept more than 10 minutes last night.
10 minutes
From the
I'm in such a bad. That's another reason
Well,
why I
that
didn't
explains the
really want to
cigars.
smoke cigars.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
I am shattered.
Lead
right
with
now.
that
oh
next time.
boy.
I was in so much pain after the basketball that I went to the bodega and purchased 3 10-pound bags of ice and had them load them like fire logs on my arms to then walk through the streets of Dumbo back to my apartment, where the guy, blessedly, my doorman, got me a baggage cart because I was dropping them and let me bring them up to my apartment, where I filled my bathtub with cold water, put the ice cubes in, and made a makeshift cold plunge.
Wow. Did you feel better after?
Get this. In order to check the temperature, I used my meat thermometer.
Oh,
wow.
that's smart.
Yeah.
What was the temperature?
41,
And how long did you stay in there?
5.5 minutes.
That's a lot. I
Does
think.
that really help? Like, did you feel a noticeable difference from that?
Night and day.
Really?
I would be in such a worse place today had I not done it. It just stops inflammation. I have a lot of inflammation in my knees. I had gotten, I always get the dead leg. Somehow, whenever I play basketball, I don't know if there's like some guy boxing me out who just gets down on his knees and elbows me in the calf, but that's always what happens. It's a calf issue, but we won all our games.
That's great.
Who did you play with? Did you just show up?
3 other guys.
Oh, okay.
We had some ballers. You play pickup like that. If you
Oh
have
no,
one,
so it was just 3 strangers.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
wait, did you play 4-on-4 or 2-on-2?
4-on-4.
I like that.
And when you have, for some reason, when you play pickup, there's always a guy who never misses a 3 ever.
Right.
And we had 2 of those guys on our team, and I don't know like why they didn't make the NBA. Do you know what I mean? Where like you've taken 9 threes and made every single one of them, and they've all been contested.
Wow. Well, there's other guys that are also good at hitting threes. Is the thing.
Yeah. Well, I have one last quick story that I thought was kind of funny.
Please.
I was trying to organize the game because I got to the court at like 4:30, and people were kind of just shooting around, but you could tell people wanted to play. And there was a woman who was shooting,
Gross.
and she had headphones on. And it's my understanding that when you're organizing a game, the people who are there first get first billing.
Sure.
And I had such a strong feeling of not wanting to be sexist and exclude her
Mm-hmm.
and she was wearing headphones and shooting, that I went up to her and I went, and she took her headphone out and I said, we're going to play a game. Would you like to play? And she went, what? I go, we're going to play a game. And she goes, no. And it was like, she not only rejected, she made me feel sexist for trying to
Right.
include her.
That happens a lot, though. People talk about all this inclusion, but oftentimes the people we're trying to include don't even want to be included.
That's it.
They're like, I don't want to play with you fucking rapists.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, I'll get killed.
What would make you think that I would want to play basketball with 7 dudes who are 200 pounds?
That reminds me of an old story. We called it the Astoria basketball. So when I first moved to New York, basketball was so huge for me because that's how I met everybody. There was like a 4-on-4 game. We'd have like 12 people and we'd rotate out. There was like a little basketball in the projects in Astoria. And it was like Nate Bargatze and Dan Soder and Ted
Graham
Alexandro.
K. And that's where you shot with the video with
Giannis
playing the
Mauricio,
Latin woman. Yeah.
So we used to play there, and it was mostly white guys, you know. A couple black guys played, but mostly white guys. And then a neighborhood kid came over, and he's like, hey, man, I'm going to jump in. I play next. And Nate Bargatze tried to tell him, like, oh, no, we're a group of friends. We're not just playing pickup ball. We all came as a group. But the way Nate worded it was, we only like to play with our own people. And he didn't see the issue. And I was like, Nate, that was fucking insane. We got a rip-roaring argument because Nate was like, yeah, dude, like, what you don't want this guy to play? We're all friends. We all came here. And I'm like, no, I understand. But you said we want to play with our own people.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I meant comedians. I'm like, no, I know.
Yeah.
What you meant, but you do have a thick Southern accent, and you just told a black teenager that we only play with our own kind.
You might have better luck on that stoop over there if you can rally up a team, a gang. I don't know what you'd call it, and we'll challenge you guys.
That sounds like a story that the black dude's probably like. He's probably like telling his like grandkids about that now. Like,
yeah,
you know, you got to be careful when you go to the basketball.
He's
courts.
like, back in 07, you know, now it's better, but in 08, 07, there'd be Southern boys that wouldn't let you play.
It's the scene from American History X.
Yeah, it was bad.
When he wins the game and forces them to never come back to the courts.
But he genuinely meant our own group here. And it was just unfortunate that day, the 2 black friends we had in our lives weren't present. Yeah. So that was
accidental racism. It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
It is funny for it to happen, and it's Nate Bargatze that was accidentally racist to you.
Well, now he's like the most famous comedian in the world, along with Shane. But it'd be funny if that guy sees him as like, that's the fucking dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's a clean comic.
Cancels him.
Yeah. Yeah. If Nate Bargatze got taken down for a basketball pickup game in
now you guys weren't playing full court.
No, we did half court.
Okay, yeah.
Because we needed to reserve the other half for that one woman.
For the lady, yeah.
What
who lowered the hoop.
Inside or outside?
Inside. It was at Lifetime.
Nice.
There's one gym there. I mean, you got some players in there, man. I'll tell you. It was fun. And I did well. I will say,
what was your how many points?
We played to 16 playing by
ones and twos.
Ones and twos, yeah. And I think I had 5 points.
Not bad.
One of which was a 3. I only took 1 3, made it.
Nice.
And then the black guy on our team who was making all the 3s went, good shot, my boy.
Oh, it feels good.
Oh, it was really nice.
I could jerk off to that. I
Did you say it back?
I didn't because I didn't want to say boy to him. But
he said, shit. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. I did reach out for a high five, which he granted. And again, that was the only high five issued in the game.
Fair.
So I needed that extra affirmation, which was too bad. But man, I'll tell you, I felt good. We played well. We played as a unit. A lot of picks, a lot of cutting.
Love that.
And they were passing. And that's what wins pickup games. If you can actually move the ball and you don't have some idiot who thinks he's a fucking prodigy and hucks up 3s all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We should play sometime. You play?
No, I'm very unathletic.
Oh, that's too bad.
I struggle with basketball. Was actually always been one that I don't even try to play because I'm so bad. I'm like, I did like basketball camp when I was in like middle school. They would just have it at like the gym at our high school, and I was the worst in the whole grade by like a mile.
Wow. What town are you from again?
I'm from Duxbury.
Oh, Deluxeberry.
Deluxeberry, yeah.
Yeah, we played you.
Really?
Whitman Hanson.
In basketball? I guess that makes sense.
Basketball, yeah, everything.
Whitman played basketball in high school?
No, I didn't play in high school. I was in track. Well, this is what happened. I ran cross country my freshman year because I was like, oh, I could run. I'll join this team. And then it came time for like basketball. And I had fallen in love with my track coach and all these guys. And I was like, I'll just do winter track, but I'm going to keep playing baseball. I love baseball. That was my game. And then when it was time for spring, I was a bad student, believe it or not. I know I have glasses, but I was ineligible athletically. And because I failed.
That's so surprising.
I
to me.
failed geometry and intro to computers. Yeah, I was like a retarded person. It was really embarrassing.
I failed.
Yeah.
I told the story on our last episode about how I almost didn't graduate because of my grades.
I almost didn't graduate also.
That's so strange because usually shapes and computers are the things they gravitate to.
Yeah, so I guess not maybe just, stupid. But
Did you try? Or was it just
no,
like
I
you
didn't try. Well, this is the thing. I hated,
stupid, full-minded person.
Yeah, I hated home. I still believe there shouldn't be homework.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. And I was an athlete, so I was like, I'm going to school from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I have practice from 3 to 5. And now you want me to go home
and do work.
I'm working longer than my parents are working.
You sound like Allen Iverson.
We're talking about practice.
Yeah, you sound like a UNC kid, like fucking center.
It just didn't make sense to me.
I have an enduring image in my mind. I used to date a girl who was in grad school at UNC, and I went down there to visit her once, and I had gone to work out in the gym, and then I was walking out, and I saw some big shot UNC basketball player, Hashim Thabit or somebody like that. I don't know. Maybe he went to UConn. I don't know. Either way, some huge guy. And he was wearing the full UConn basketball sweats. And he had a tiny white guy walking behind him carrying his backpack.
Oh, wow.
And they were going into the library. And I was like, that kid has been assigned to fucking Sherpa that guy through the academic minimum requirements to keep him eligible.
Oh, yeah.
They all have that. They all have like a kid.
Well, it's fascinating because I never understood it academically, college sports, because the tournament, you're just gone for like a month.
Yeah.
And then you're on the road. I don't understand how it works, I guess, but I guess they just get you through.
So in college, we had to play with my senior year, we made the Ivy League tournament, which was just 4 of the teams in lacrosse. And Cornell was the best of the Ivy League schools that year, so they hosted the tournament, which was all the way up in Ithaca, New York, which, by the way, I think Cornell has the highest successful suicide rate of any college in America.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Because all the kids jump off the gorges.
The bridge.
Yeah.
No kidding.
So that's a cool claim to fame.
Absolutely.
I read a whole story about that when I was much too young to be reading it.
And also the weather's so bad that it's just everyone's miserable.
Yeah. That's where Cornell is, Ithaca?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
And we went up there, and it was during exam period. You know, usually our season was over by that point because we weren't good. But by this time, we were actually pretty solid that year. And we won the semifinal game against Penn, which meant we had to stay another 3 days in this hotel in Ithaca. And Harvard sent proctors on a plane to our hotel to administer the finals in a conference room for all of the kids that had finals scheduled.
Wow.
They didn't give them extensions. They didn't give them. Luckily I didn't have it because I always tried to opt for final papers instead of exams. But like half our team had Ec 10 exams or whatever, for which they had to study around practice and games, and then take them in a fucking hotel conference room under the vigilant eye of
brutal.
proctors.
That sounds horrible.
There was no, oh yeah, we'll give you guys a couple extra days. Good luck.
Is that just
whole
like an Ivy
school's
League
behind
thing?
you? None of that.
Is that like just like an Ivy League thing though? Because I've heard so many stories about like SEC schools with like football. Like I remember hearing a story about Lamar Jackson when he was at, where'd he go? Louisville? I think he went to Louisville, and he didn't start his freshman year, and he was in class every day, and he became like good friends with this other dude. It was the story was like the other dude was telling it, and then the next year I think he played like one game his freshman year, and they were like, obviously he's going to be the starter next year. And then the kid just never saw him again. Just was never in class again.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's in the NFL. But like those schools will go out of their way.
So yes, to your point, I know that again at UNC, students there, and I think at USC, I remember Matt Leinart, they would have first pick of classes that they could enroll in because the belief was that their athletic schedules were so stringent that they should have the ability to work their academics in around practice and weightlifting and stuff like that. I think, at least in my experience, the Ivy League, they did everything they could to distance themselves from any preferential treatment for athletes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you go to USC also?
No, I went to Harvard. But
No, I mean, I knew that, but I thought maybe you.
no, well, I remember Matt Leinart took ballroom dancing
Oh, I see.
with
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah.
girlfriend.
Right.
And they were the only two people in the class because he was such a celebrity on campus that they were like, we need to create special academic shit for him.
Do you know Noah Savage? Were you there at the same time as him?
He was at Princeton.
Princeton. That's right. That's right.
I
He
do
played
know him.
basketball.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really even make sense though. Like the trying to keep the athlete. Like if you're a really good athlete in any college at this point and you're getting the NIL money, like how are you supposed to stay? Like say they didn't give you the help that you needed to pass the classes. Like if you know you're going to the NFL in 2 years, you're a freshman, you're going to like Alabama. Like, and you're getting paid millions of dollars now on top of that. Like, how are you gonna be like, yeah, well, I'm obviously I have to study math.
I think the answer for that would be like, well, now there's actually a literal amount of money you stand to make if you stay eligible.
Oh, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? It's
right.
like now it makes more sense.
Yeah,
It's easy. It's easier to be like, no, dude, just get a C minus,
that makes sense.
and here's $800,000.
I guess I didn't think about that. Do they have to stay eligible to get NIL money?
I think so.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, they're not going to get the NIL money if they're not eligible to play sports.
Yeah, that's true. That would be tough. You'd have to be really good to do that. To pull that off.
I like it. I'm a big fan of the NIL thing because you're seeing guys who would be good draft choices and high draft picks say, no, I have unfinished business here and I'm going to come back for another year because I'm now making money.
Right.
And I actually care about winning a fucking championship.
Yeah.
Well, the hard thing though is now in basketball we had 4 number 1 seeds for only the second time ever, which is kind of directly related to the NIL, isn't it?
Oh yeah, in the bracket.
Yeah.
In the March Madness.
Yeah.
that
Cooper
was
Flagg,
crazy.
Maine boy.
Who is?
Cooper Flagg.
He's from Maine?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Man, your knowledge of Maine is disappointing. Come in.
Come in.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Who was it? Lisa?
Nope.
Ah, jeez.
Who was it?
I don't know. Some guy.
I'm hiding my cigar.
Trouble's coming.
Oh Jesus.
Nah, we're fine.
I'm Jim
We're fine.
Jeffries.
It was probably someone coming in looking for you.
What's the Jim Jeffries reference?
I just didn't want to be Joe List. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want a bad rap here. Or
There's
rep.
really not that many bad things that could happen to you from this.
Yeah, I guess not. But I feel like
You're
you're
not
not
gonna
going to throw me
get
under the
fired.
bus. You're going to be like, yeah, he was our guest. He had
we would
short.
never do that.
All right, I appreciate
I'll take
it.
all the blame. They get mad at me all the time anyway.
Hairball has some kind of 9 life fucking agreement. He just the blows just glance off of him.
Well, I mean, they'll say, why were you smoking cigars? And we'll say we gave the heads up. And we put the air humidifier in, which is part of the agreement. I don't see us breaking any rules.
You know what you need is a fan that just blows it all out.
Out to them.
That way it's nice in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Or-
really what we should be doing.
What we should do is we should stuff wet towels at the base of the door, like we're teenagers smoking pot
right.
in our bathroom.
I think
Get
it's
like
going
a-
up pretty good.
You ever do the thing with the... I mean, it is thick
I
in
can't
here.
see you.
Yeah,
It's a
Joe.
cloud.
It's
Can't
bad.
see you.
It's
Yeah.
bad. I'm having a hard time seeing the guys that don't do anything.
You ever do the thing in high school with the paper towel tube and the dryer sheet that you blow the smoke out of?
No.
Like smoking weed and you blow it out of that and it like filters the smoke so it doesn't smell like weed.
No, my God, no. I haven't.
It was kind of, I don't think it ever actually worked. It was
I
kind of a
never
myth.
smoked weed in high school. To me, the idea of being high in high school is like mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Like just be it like I mean I haven't been high in a long time, but like being stoned in high school is like terrifying to me.
I
I'd just
can't-
be so paranoid.
You're talking about in school itself, or,
Yeah, yeah.
or at night on the weekend?
Oh no, I'm talking about in school because like there were people that smoked weed like,
Before school.
Before school, and yeah.
We had kids when I was in high school, like were you pointing to me?
I don't know. You just
Oh,
named
no.
some crazy MacGyver solution to getting away with
You
it.
bet, yeah.
I mean, I've never even heard of your fucking weird blow pipe.
I didn't. There's going
No.
to be a lot of people that have heard of that. But when I was in high school, that was when like the dab pens started coming out, like the
Oh,
vapes.
wow.
So kids would just go to the bathroom and they'd come back and they'd be like high as fuck. And you'd be like leaving school and you'd see one of your buddies and his eyes would just be like dark red and you'd be like, you're fucked, dude.
Can we tell the story from last week?
About what?
You and me?
The one the chain hated.
After the stand, after our spots?
No.
God damn it, man.
What happened?
Now
guys-
we can tell it. I don't care.
It's really
What'd
funny.
you
Me
do?
and
You double
Francis,
upped on a woman?
me and Francis, yeah, after the stand. On a Tuesday night, it was packed, and the fans were hornier than ever. We
All right. Today's episode of Son of a Boy Dad is brought to you by Viore. Viore is awesome. We love it. I love it. Roan right now is nursing his 2 children. Probably
they're wearing Viore.
decked out head to toe in Viore because it is the most comfortable and incredibly versatile clothing, perfect for whatever your day brings, whether you're nursing twins or ripping stogies. It's designed to look great beyond the gym, whether you're running errands, heading to the office, or meeting up with friends. Their core short. It's an awesome short. Soft, lightweight, 4-way performance stretch, moves with you, no restriction. And it's available in 3 inseam options, so there's a perfect fit and length for whatever your preference is. I like to come just a little above the knee. That's what I like. So I like the mid-length. I like Viore, honestly, because when I have the pants, to me, I wear them and they're so comfortable. They have that like kind of loungewear feel while looking like a nice everyday commuter pant type thing. Viore is an investment in your happiness, and for our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at viore.com/boydad. That's VUORI.com/boydad. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to viore.com/boydad and discover the versatility of Viore clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
Alrighty, let's talk about Kraken.
Kraken.
If you're going to trade crypto, do it right. No sketchy platforms, no sketchier customer support. That's why we only trust Kraken. Kraken lets you buy, sell, and swap over 300 cryptos without the lag, crashes, or clownery. Buying crypto manually? That's old school. Recurring buys lets you automate your investments so you stack stats without even thinking about it. DCA done right. Buy more when prices dip, less when they spike. Link your bank account in minutes. Set it, forget it, and let your portfolio grow. Kraken Pay. Instant crypto payments. No more I'll Venmo you later excuses. Whether you're covering a lost bet, splitting the tab after a night out, or sending funds for the next wild adventure, Kraken Pay lets you move money instantly with 0 fees and no banks holding things up. Oh, and refer your friends. Kraken will hook you up with $200 in USDG just for spreading the love. So quit waiting. Head to kraken.com/barstool. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss and is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine, through Payward Interactive Incorporated. We did the 9 p.m. show upstairs. Great show.
Wow, you don't hear that
Yeah.
every day.
Not now. Fun.
That
Fun
upstairs
show.
room is,
That's my home base.
it's tough.
That's my home club.
That's
right
a tough home base.
there.
Yikes.
I actually think it's made me a lot better at comedy.
Yeah, well, I think if you're young and hungry and developing, it's
yeah.
great. But yeah, if you're like, I know how to do comedy, I'm just trying to work some stuff out. It's really,
yeah.
it can be tough. But no, I mean,
I can't say anything about it because that's the only place that I'm booked.
No, I do it all the time. It's just tough.
That's home.
I know how to
from
fix
home.
that room, by the way.
What is your suggestion? Because I got a suggestion too.
I have a few that would make it much better. One is don't have fucking dance music at volume 300
that's
that
tough.
is bleeding through the room, which is completely nonsense. It's the one and only comedy room that has music playing.
Have you ever done that room like 11 p.m. on like a Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, no, it's
oh,
insane.
Yeah. You
But
just
also
hear
the-
the drum.
Yeah, but this is very inside baseball. Maybe people haven't been there, but they should make the stage like half as high. It should be way lower. The stage at this club is twice as high as the stage downstairs in the big room. It's too bright, and they should also move the stage to the other side. So the door, what
It's
happens is,
behind.
I'm pointing at the audience, I guess, but every time someone comes in, it's next to the stage.
Yeah.
So they look over there.
Yeah.
But the stage is way too fucking big.
That was my exact
Yeah.
thing that I said.
I think all comedy stages should be low.
Should be like Philly Helium, where like the tables are above the stage.
You're like 4 inches higher. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
when I do shows in the upstairs room, sometimes I'll find myself like I don't even remember that the front row's there. Like I'm using the second row as the front row,
Right,
and I'm just standing on top of the front row.
Well, it feels like you're sexually assaulting them. You're like
Yeah.
standing over them. You just want to
Yeah.
like come on their face. or
If I
whatever.
just squatted down, I'd teabag them.
Yes.
Nice.
So I feel like this was very inside. People are like, we don't know what you're
No,
talking
no,
about.
we talk about the stand all the time.
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys rip because I personally think I'm very grateful just to have any spots there.
Same,
At
me
all.
too.
But you're
That's what I'm
downstairs
saying.
all the time.
Yeah. No, I know. I remember a time when I was fighting for check spots at Stand Up New York and battling through all that. And,
Right.
you know,
Totally.
my journey of hardship through the New York comedy scene is recent in memory. So to me, the upstairs room in the stand is
I
is
said,
perfect.
I think my exact words were, "That's my home away from home."
Yeah, and then you went on to draw the blueprints on improvements and.
Well, that's constructive criticism.
Okay. Yeah.
My eyes are burning. This is terrible. We're all gonna be nauseous.
I feel fine.
Well, by the way, part of this started because you. I just remembered this. I said a memory. You said we could do a rooftop episode,
Oh, that is
and
true.
that's when I was like, oh, we could smoke on the roof. That would be amazing.
Where did you
No,
get the idea to
that's
do that?
that was a complete joke.
Where would
between
we
me
have
and
done
Owen.
that?
We were
Oh,
joking.
That's
'Cause if
what
we get-
started this. 'Cause I was like, oh, we could smoke during the show, and then you were like, you want to smoke during the show? We'll smoke during the show. So
That
maybe
is
this
true.
my fault.
You were the first one. You said we could smoke during the show.
You guys,
and I said,
you really did cook this up.
and I
That's on
tried to
you.
impress him. And
I
I was like,
thought
we
there
smoke
was a-
cigars all the time.
There was a rooftop thing,
Mm-mm.
but you're saying there's not even a rooftop.
No, the there isn't because we're on the third floor of like a 20-story building, and but we could. I was joking about going outside, but that was because we get charged like $20,000 if we do that.
20,000 might be better than what we're doing here.
Well,
This is,
between the fines and the complaints, it's going to add up to
It'll
about
add
that.
up.
wow.
It'll be a lot of upstairs spots at the stand for me to pay him back.
I might do the rest of this with my eyes closed just because my eyes are kind of burning.
That might be allergies.
No, it's the smoke. It's definitely, it's a very specific smoke.
I was going to say,
fucking-
I've been really fighting my allergies.
I never had allergies most of my life. It just the last few years have been fucking killing me.
Oh, I bought something for you, Francis.
Did you?
Yeah, got it right here.
That's so sweet.
It's a pollen plant.
It's
Nothing. I
Rhodos.
thought that was gonna be big.
Okay.
Rhodos eye drops.
I'll try it. Thank you.
I got
My-
the extra strength one.
Holy
Looks like lube.
shit.
Yeah.
Now, what does
Wow.
that do?
Well,
Francis has been complaining about his eyes have been super itchy lately, so I was like, I'm gonna get him. I keep on telling him to buy these eye drops, but I know he's not gonna buy them.
Hairball, for whatever reason, makes a daily pilgrimage to Dwayne Reed.
Wow.
Well, I go every morning to get a Kind bar and a Red Bull.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's just I don't go into CVS or Rite Aid or Dwayne Reed unless fucking the world demands it.
Oh,
of
I
me.
go to. I try to go every day.
I don't like those
I
places.
love them.
I would say that especially the one right here on 28th and 7th, there is a 50-50 chance that I'm going to be part of stopping someone from shoplifting.
Yeah.
It is not that. It's pretty common that you'll walk in to that one, and you'll be like, "Oh, what happened to the door?" Because the
Yeah,
door all of a sudden is just a piece of plywood or something.
Yeah, this is a tough area over here.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
because we got Penn Station. It's just a couple blocks up.
Well, only 7 more years on our 12-year lease. So
Well, I think we might be able to get out of it with the smoke here.
Yeah, true. No, surprisingly, you would think they don't give a fuck. The building doesn't care either.
I got to be honest with you. I've totally come around on the cigars.
I'm loving the cigars.
As you're
I'm having a great time.
you're tapping out. I feel like we're losing you a
Ah,
little
we're
bit.
losing you.
No tap.
How
Here's
much you
good
got
news.
left on yours?
I got this much. You're looking at it.
Oh yeah,
You-
we're similar.
You're having some eye issues. You're gonna want some Rhodos.
Well, the warning on these is that they hurt extremely when you put them in, and then after you put them in, it feels like someone just fucking. It feels like you just got an oil change done on your eyes.
Yeah, I think I'll skip it. I
You
don't
could,
need
like,
the pain in my eyes. I'd rather have itchy eyes than fucking hurt eyes.
Like it feels like you could roll them into the like you could just do whatever with your eyes.
Oh, so it is like lube. 'Cause that looks like a lube
yeah,
Yeah.
thing.
it is.
It looks
I
like
was,
you bought him lube.
As I was hauling my fire logs of ice bags back to my apartment, my forearms were freezing, and I was getting freezer burn on my arms, and the weight was really bad. And I started reciting that Navy SEAL mantra of "pain is just weakness leaving the body."
Sure.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
And then I quickly sort of responded to my subconscious with, unless it's blood leaving the body, in which case you're dying.
Yeah.
So there are occasions where pain is not weakness. You're becoming weaker,
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
If you get shot in the head
or anywhere, really.
or anywhere,
Yeah.
You're not saying like now there it goes. Look
Well-
at that, my pussification leaking out of
Right.
my femoral artery.
That reminds me, one time when I first really got into Eastern philosophy and Buddhism, I was really.
Did you know? Sorry,
No, please.
no. We talked about Buddhism on the last episode.
Oh,
And
boy,
he's
we're just
are a lot
repeating
of-
the worst episode you ever did. You're like the king of comedy called and said this episode sucked. Everything we say is like, oh, that was on the last episode. I'm like, oh, perfect. But I had a moment like that where I got really into Buddhism and just feeling and mindfulness. And I was in Minneapolis, to bring it back to Somalia. I got in the van, like a taxi cab, but it was a van, and I put a hot tea between my feet like a fucking
Oh,
idiot.
yeah.
Because I had to buckle up, whatever. And it spilled, the top came off, and it burned my foot. And I thought, this is my chance to use mindfulness. So I sat and just felt the sensation physically. And that's not what you're supposed to do when you have something burning your skin. You're
No.
supposed to get the thing off your skin. So I sat and just let it soak through my sock, and I ended up with a 3rd degree burn. Or 1st degree, which is the bad.
Third degree is the worst.
Oh, then I got 1st degree. It's the
Yeah.
opposite of murder.
Yeah. Third degree is like you're
Yeah. I got a 1st degree burn. It was all, like bright red all the way.
Yeah.
The skin was like gone, and it ended up scabbed up. It wasn't a big deal, but I was just sat there thinking like, I'm gonna really use this thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did it
And you're
work?
supposed to. No, it fucking burned.
Yeah,
my foot.
yeah.
You're supposed to get rid of the burning.
You're supposed to put cold
Treat it.
on it.
You're not supposed to be like,
treat it.
fire. I'll meditate through this. You're supposed to be like, stop, put out the fire.
I try to do that when I went in the shower, when I have to shower and there's no hot water.
Yeah.
Try to go, I'm going to be mindful here.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
But I still suck with that. I'm a big pussy with the cold water stuff.
It's tough.
I also just don't really feel like I need it. You're really into the cold bath.
Look, I realize that people have differing
Well,
opinions
no,
on it.
I'm just saying.
Personally, I cannot ignore how much better I feel when I exercise, then do a cold thing. I feel better after.
Yeah.
He had a great one. He was telling me he's big into the cold bath, and he was gonna buy, or he was trying to get a company to send him one. And
I
it was
did.
like
I did.
He
I pulled that off.
But was it like the $11,000 one?
6,000.
6,000. But there was an $11,000 one, and he was explaining it to me, and he was like, it's not just a tub. He was like, it's a tub, but it gets cold, and he's like, and then it's really expensive, so it gets hot too.
That's great.
And I was like, that sounds like a tub. That sounds like any tub
Yeah, but
there
you
is.
I'll tell you, without the ice, I think the tap water from my bathtub yesterday would not have gotten colder
Yeah, yeah.
than maybe 54 degrees. And I like to be down in the 30s if I can.
Is that as cold you think that's as cold as you think normal tap water gets?
I would think so. Yeah.
Mine feels like it gets down to the fucking 20s.
it can be quite cold, yeah. 20s.
Twice. You're running it from the fucking mountain spring.
That's
now, does
one
Lifetime
thing.
Fitness, they must have a cold.
They don't. I
Bath.
asked.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, and they said they only have one at 42nd Street.
I see. I'm an Equinox man, and there's one that has a cold bath.
Yeah.
It's on the Upper East.
Is that what it is like with every gym? Because I'm a Temple person, and their whole thing is like we're a luxury gym, you know. And I spent a lot of money, and then you go, and they're like, well, no, actually, the luxury gym is in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh,
It's not here.
I don't know. I mean, Equinoxes are all very nice. I'm a big steam guy. I steam every day
Steam's nice.
if I can.
Shout out Redwood Outdoors. That is the cold plunge I have. I have it set at 36, and I do 5 minutes.
Wow.
Well, how low does it go?
I think that might be as low. It's not the ice forming one. There's a different company that makes one that actually forms ice, which you have to break.
Yeah, you got to break it open with like an axe every
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
That's not a bad way to start your day, though. I mean, if you're going to start your day with an ice tub,
Yeah, I mean, all of
smashing
this
some axe around.
is me trying to acclimate myself for the day when Joe Rogan asks me to come on his pod, where I presume we will work out together beforehand.
No, he doesn't let you do that. This is what Joe does when you do the show. He takes you around his facility, and he's like, "This is my bow and arrow thing.
Yeah.
This is the ice bath. This is the fucking chamber, whatever the
the
floating."
deprivation,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sensory.
Sensory
And then he's got
Yeah.
all this whole gym, and then you look at all of it, and then he's like, "All right, let's go podcast." And you're like, "Oh, I thought we were gonna use
Yeah.
this."
Get
Wait,
to shoot some bows.
I remember Santino worked out with him before he did an episode. So maybe
Well-
I'll just have to put the message in the night before.
Yeah, I think he doesn't like me. I don't know.
You always say on every podcast, you're like, my Rogan episode was the worst Rogan episode
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it
pretty
was
bad.
great. I loved it.
Thanks. Well, I did a few. Yeah. Well, I'm the only guy that didn't fucking sell tickets after. People were like, I had somebody say, I forget who. They're like, once you do Rogan though, then it's all sailing. I'm like, I've done it 3 times.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, 4 times now.
Really? 4? You just do it again?
No, I think I did it 4. I did it once with Louis and 3 times by myself.
Ah, wow.
There's no way that he doesn't like you if
Yeah,
he's
if
had
you
you
do
No,
that
he
back
likes me.
that
I
many
think
times.
he likes me, but I don't know. I don't think he sees me as a workout guy. Maybe, I don't know. One time I tried to paint. I was like, "Oh, I've been doing MMA for a couple of years now," and he was like, "Oh, cool." Anyways, so the pyramids were built like he was just like, "Dude, come get out of here." Stop. And I was like, "All right, well, I thought I only did it so you'd like me."
Have you ever seen the dude that makes those Instagram videos and they're like when Rogan decides the joke's over?
Yeah.
And it's like 3 people going back and forth.
No, I
And they're
haven't
like,
seen it.
and then one guy's like, yeah, and then what if there were just like dinosaurs and they were just like shooting lasers out of their eyes? And then it cuts back to Rogan. He's like, why would dinosaurs shoot lasers out of their eyes?
Yeah, he does that a little bit. I've had a few of those. I was warned about that, and I'll be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna kill myself," and he's like, "Why?" And I was like, no, I'm not really. And he's like, "But are you depressed?" And I was like, No, I was just doing a thing. I don't know. Just don't worry about it. I had one time. When I was on with Louis, we were talking about AI and the future of AI. And I was like, "Oh, I would love." They have AI porn where you can just kind of be engulfed and you can watch porn. And I would put my dad, that way I could fuck my dad.
yeah,
And he
I've
went,
seen this.
"Your dad? What?" And I was like, no, I'm just a bit. And he's like, "You fuck your dad, dude. What's wrong with you?" And I was like, I just thought it'd be a funny misdirect.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Fuck.
I can't even imagine doing that. Were you nervous as fuck the first time you did it or now?
The first time, especially, yeah. And it's long. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a long show. And
Yeah.
I was nervous because I was like, oh man, this is my big chance. And
Yeah.
it was hard. I was just like, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
can't imagine what my yeah count would be. My yeah count on this podcast is already, I've said yeah 10,000 times.
Yeah, I just did it right now. I'm like, sure. Absolutely. Oh yeah. Big time. He also could say, I think the Nazis were right, and I'd be like, yeah,
Oh,
you bet.
Of course.
I'm just very agreeable.
I think that too. Why do you think that?
Oh yeah, exactly. You talk, and I'll just be over here.
You explain why the Nazis are good.
I go through mental gymnastics. I rehearse conversations that I will someday have with Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
where I am trying to dig myself out of holes.
Oh yeah.
And I have never heard any hint that I will ever be invited on that podcast.
You'll get on eventually.
And I'm already worried about getting in trouble or saying something.
No, I've done that myself with many podcasts where I'm like, well, here's the thing, and then you're like, I'm just talking to myself here.
Sometimes I tell myself I'm gonna ask him questions that other people have been too afraid to ask.
Right.
and he'll respect me for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I congratulate myself.
Sometimes the thing you think people are respecting you is not like when I first opened for Louis, he was doing this big arena tour, and I said no to a couple dates because I was like, I'm gonna go. I got a family week. I'm going to Maine actually, and I can't do it. And then years later, I was like, I think that's what got me in. He saw that I'm like a man who is willing to say no, and he's like, "What? I didn't know that. You just said you were unavailable. I don't care." But it was like years of me being like, "That's how I did it. I stayed true to myself," and he respected it. And he's like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." And I was like, "Oh, all right."
I remember when I opened for Shane in Buffalo. That was like the one time I opened for him on the road, and I remember I was like, that was everything. That was unbelievable, all this shit. And then Roan, our other co-host, went on his podcast, and he was like, "What made you bring Harry on? Like, was you called him up to the big leagues?" And he was like, "None of my friends were around." And I was like, "Fuck!" I thought he saw me do a set or something. And was like, that was great.
I had that with Louis too early on. When I first met him, I wasn't even friends. He was just at the cellar. He was hanging out, and I talked about how big of a fan of the show Louis I was, and then he told me this long episode that he shot with who's Joey from Friends? What's that guy's name?
Matthew LeBlanc.
Matthew LeBlanc. They went to high school together.
Oh wow.
They graduated together. And he told me this long episode, and the whole time I was like, I don't remember this at all, but I don't want him to think I was full of shit. So I was like, all right, when he finishes talking, just be like, "Oh, I loved that. It was so good." And then at the last minute, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't remember that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, it never aired." It was. We ended up cutting it. And
What
I
a
was
catch.
so relieved
Yeah.
that I wasn't like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Because I would have been
Yeah.
ostracized. He would have hated me for life.
Yeah.
He would have seen that you were not the family man.
I was a piece of shit. Yeah.
You professed the honest,
Well, I had that
straight-lined man.
one time my wife did Colbert, I think it was, and they pre-tape it. It hadn't come out yet. And a comic who I'll tell you off air was like, dude, Sarah killed it. She was awesome. And I was like, it has not. You have not seen it for sure.
Yeah.
Which is so funny to me because I'm like, all you have to do is say, hey, I heard your wife did
Yeah.
Colbert. I
How'd
hope
it
it went
go?
great. I can't wait to
Yeah.
watch it. I'm going to watch it soon. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
pay to just lie.
Yeah.
You look like a fucking nitwit.
You,
Yeah,
you ever
it's
been
tough.
you ever been walked into a lie? Has anyone you know ever known that you were teetering on a mistruth and then walked you to the fucking firing squad?
I don't think so. I try to be real honest as much as I can. Because if you don't lie, you don't have to remember anything.
True.
It's an old adage.
Yeah.
True. I used to lie all the time when I was younger. I used to get
Same,
massive
same.
pride, just constantly. Well, it was mostly about homework. Did you do your homework? Yeah. And then I would drag it out for like weeks, and they'd be like, "There's a 0," because we had like the online thing where you could check,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, you got a 0% for it." And I'd be like, "Yeah, it's a mistake. I'll talk to the teacher tomorrow."
It's supposed to be a 1 and a 0 in front of that 0, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were lying to your parents about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be like, teacher's a fucking moron. I'll get it fixed.
This is his method. He denigrates the authority. Right?
Oh, we gotta talk about that. The lease.
So on the last episode we did, the one that went so poorly,
Shane must
80
not made it to the last 5 minutes.
80%,
Oh, okay.
80% of the way through the episode, he gets a call and he goes, "I got to take this." I go, "Go ahead." He takes it on the pod, and it's his landlord,
Who I don't know. I've never met the guy.
Okay.
Never dealt with him.
and he is an older Russian guy who
I think he's actually Jewish.
Well, there
there are
Jews.
Russian Jews.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Millions of them.
I
in
guess that
fact.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why.
No. He's Israeli.
Russia and Judaism mutually exclusive. So he calls him, and Harry is 2 weeks delinquent on signing his lease extension, and the guy is chewing him out for it on the phone, and we can hear what the guy's saying through the phone.
he's a scary guy.
Yeah, it
He
sounds
doesn't
scary.
he doesn't play it like it's not like I think the exact words where I said he was like, "You haven't signed your lease," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I apologize." I was like, "Did you guys send it through mail or email?" And he goes, "Mail." And I was like, "All right, that's my bad. I'm so sorry. Like I'll fill it out today." And he goes, "I don't want your apologies. Sign the lease or get out."
Oh, wow.
And I was
like
like,
that guy.
"All right,
And Harry
got it."
Harry was apologetic, hung up the phone, and then spent the next 10 minutes just absolutely fucking torching this guy.
Because he's a dick. He's
And
a dick.
He's like, who calls people? Who talks to people that way? I'm paying the rent, you know? And then I was like, well, you know, I tried to say, I think you got to sign the lease.
Yeah. Which, what I was gonna say was, I got home, checked the mail, no lease. Had to find it online.
Oh, okay.
But he had
Yeah.
emailed it to you.
Yes. But he
Okay.
said they sent it in the mail.
Well, that's a clerical,
It says in
Error
the
on
email, it
his
says
wording.
print and send back.
right? But if he said, well, you know what? It's not even worth arguing on this one.
Well, it's kind of a big deal now.
He had sent the lease
If he
via
says,
email, but
yeah,
he
but
thought
if he goes, I sent it in mail. That was during the phone call.
and yet you said the reason you had not seen it was because it was in the mail, and you don't check your mail.
yeah, but I got out of it because he never sent it in the mail.
Did
I think
you,
I texted you right
did
when
you
I got
speak?
home.
Did you speak to him about it?
No. What am I gonna do? Call him back and go, it's not in the mail.
Have you,
Well,
have you
why
signed
not?
it now?
Oh yeah, so I
Oh,
signed it
okay.
the second I got home.
There you go.
Yeah. But he is an asshole because he gave me that same call last year.
But what if he listens to this?
That's what I was worried
That's what
about.
he said.
And Owen cut up a very funny clip of the exchange, which I was excited about. And Hairball said, "We're not posting that."
No, I said
Meanwhile-
leave it in the podcast. I said I don't know if we have to clip it.
The whole
Fair.
thing is live on our YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, but now we're coming up with this hypothetical where my like 90-year-old mobster landlord listens to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast in full.
Why
Listens
is
to the
he?
entire thing?
To me, it's not that different that he would find it by being pointed to it in the episode.
But there's nothing. We didn't say
versus
anything
like
in the
him
episode.
scrolling Twitter and being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I guess that is true.
It is tough when sometimes I've had this because I was just talking about this. We have a company that clips stuff from our podcast, and it'll be like on the Patreon, like which Patreon you're like, no, only these people are listening, and I'll talk about finger fucking my wife's friend or so, and then they put it as a clip, and I'm like, wow, what are you crazy? Now it's like in the algorithm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. I get the not wanting it clipped.
I just didn't want because like I don't think there's any way he would ever find it. Mostly because no one knows where I live.
Right.
I had a question for you actually that I wanted to ask, which is that
Please.
you have a child now.
Yes.
Mark just had a child.
Yeah.
Do you think that with premier comedians like yourselves, who people like us look up to, sort of starting to place more of a priority on your family life, that the sort of dedicated, let's call it old school comedies, everything comedian is a dying breed, that you're setting a bad example?
I'm setting a bad example?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
By having a child and becoming a family man.
Well, no, because most of the best comics, the biggest comics have kids.
To be honest with you, I was totally kidding with this question.
But geez, I'm like so self-conscious. I was like, oh my God, it's not going to ruin my career. No, why would it ruin my career? Why would I be broke and have no money to pay for my
it was
rent?
a terrible delivery of a joke.
Oh, Jesus. I was like, no. But I'm like, so in my head, I'm like, I have a kid now, all my money, I'm gonna get fucking, no one's gonna like me.
Yeah.
So I was like genuinely like,
I'm sorry.
No, you were like triggering me. I'm like, I think I could still do it.
I
I'm
meant
like Louis, George Carlin had a kid prior.
Chris Rock, yeah,
Yeah.
who said famously that his comedy career didn't really take off until he had children.
Yeah,
Same with
Louis
Louis.
too.
Yeah.
Because now it's debt. Now I got to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Can I fart on this couch? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm smoking a cigar.
I don't
might
think
as well.
anyone will notice. Imagine they come in for that.
Yeah, they're like, who the fuck farted? God damn. Was
Just
it you? You shit
Just
yourself.
a cloud of smoke going by.
Guys, there's a line.
Yeah.
Come
It
on,
beat
this
the
is
air.
a workplace.
It
Well, also,
beat
it
the-
does feel like a very nice couch that we're destroying.
Oh, don't even worry about the fucking couch.
Yeah, I don't know. This was just here.
I had rehearsed that question.
No, I blew it.
In
That's
my
bad.
mind,
I mean,
I was
but
like-
it was so earnest that I was like, no, I don't think so. Jeez.
Yeah.
The number one camera is on the ground. I don't know what's going on here. You
We
need
got
some
three, we
better
got
boys. I mean, there's the premier camera shot is just,
That's too far away. That's not cutting through the
Am
smoke.
I on camera? There's also a fucking like C-stand in front of this camera. It looks like, is that in the shot?
Yeah, that's probably your tight shot.
Oh,
Zoomed
boy.
in.
My eyes. I gotta need those drops.
Roto?
We
It
can wrap
looks
it
like
up
lube.
if that's what we're feeling.
I don't feel well.
I feel great.
Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta wrap up soon.
I came around. The cigar felt great.
Yeah, I feel like $1 million. I feel physically well. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't stood up. When I stand up, I'll probably
Yeah.
fall down. But
Yeah.
I'm going straight to the steam room. I'll steam this right off.
Good for you.
I'll wear my clothes in the steam room.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea. Well, Joe List, you have a lot of things to promote coming
Yeah,
up.
I got. Does this come out soon?
This will come out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, this weekend, if you're in New York or Los Angeles, those are very big cities. My movie premieres this weekend, and it lasts a week, hopefully a bit longer, at the Quad Cinema here in New York City and the Sunset 5 Cinema in Los Angeles. And it's called Tom Dustin: Portrait of a Comedian. It's a very good movie. I'll
Fuck
send it to
yeah.
you guys.
He's famously the guy that runs the place in Key West, right?
Yeah. He runs it. It's about comedy and friendship and success and alcoholism. It's a really good movie, I think.
Fuck
Is
yeah.
it? It's not a documentary, right?
It's a documentary.
Oh, it
yeah.
is? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's
Cool.
just me and him kind of bullshitting. He's on stage and he runs the comedy club, and it's funny.
You have this love for indie films and sort of, making like, what are they, short films, right?
I made some short films, and yeah, I'm trying to make longer, better films now.
Would you ever move more into like blockbusters?
I mean, I don't know. I never liked blockbustery movie, but I'd like it to be a blockbuster. I'd like this to take off and make money
Yeah.
for sure. I spent a lot of my own money that can't probably make back. But unless you come,
Yeah,
I
go.
don't even know there's a
Cool.
camera on me, frankly. But Quad Cinema, yeah, go buy tickets. So I'm trying to make, and then it's going to go nationwide. May 9th, it's playing all over, and then I have a special coming out May 21st, also in theaters.
Fuck
Where's
yeah.
that going to go?
It's going, it's in theaters now, and then we're going to try to sell it, but possibly YouTube. I don't know, maybe Netflix, but
Hell yeah.
Nice.
They don't put me on very often.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see.
Can't wait.
You had that great half hour on Netflix. I watched that.
Thank you. I thought it was great. And then since then, they've been like, who's this? I'm sorry, what?
And your YouTube specials are phenomenal.
Oh, thank
They're
you.
great.
Yeah, this might go on YouTube. So it's called Small Ball. It's in theaters. So you can go to joelissmallball.com or tomdustindoc.com. Those are where they live.
Great. Hell yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That's Joe List, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Possibly from a different studio.
Yeah.
I'm dying. Are we smoking cigars today?
I think so, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Joe's a big cigar guy.
I did not request this. By the way. Don't throw me under the bus. I said this is crazy. I can't. This is nuts.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it'll be fun.
We have to clear it.
What do you mean?
We have to tell them. And then they get the air thing up here.
We already got the air thing.
Did we?
Yeah, it's up here.
We
I
checked
don't
our.
want to take any of the heat for this. This was not my
I
idea.
don't want to smoke a cigar.
None of this was
I'm
my
sorry to be
idea.
anti.
don't
Unless
have
you
to
really
smoke.
care to.
I'm definitely going to smoke a cigar.
I'm probably gonna smoke as well off camera.
Jesus
If he's gonna smoke,
Christ.
then I will smoke. But I don't want to be the guy that's causing
There
it.
goes
No.
there goes the day.
Yeah, unfortunately.
God damn it, dude.
Wait,
You
we don't
know,
have to
just
smoke a
don't
cigar.
smoke. Totally. It's just like, yeah. I like to know ahead of time,
This was it. This was a last minute
so I
plan.
can fucking decide on what clothes I want to ruin, and whether to work out in the morning, because I certainly won't after this.
I'm working out right now.
Yeah.
Now, if there's any percentage of me getting the heat for this,
No, you're not going to get any heat. You won't get any heat.
I don't want Francis to resent me. I didn't even bring it up, as a matter of fact. You fucking brought it up.
I had no idea you were such a cigar guy.
I'm not such a cigar guy. I like a cigar.
As for us to make a special occasion of this.
Not
By
us.
the way, did you buy these?
No, on bottom.
Owen did? Okay, cool. So next time, a guy did send us a case,
Oh, sure.
which he wants us to smoke, which we don't have to do today, but
What kind of cigars are these?
$7.
Oh, come on.
do you want me to get the nicer ones?
Do you have real cigars?
I don't want
Do you have the
Where
real
is
ones?
I have them, yeah. I'll go grab them. I don't want to undo Owen's nice gesture, though.
No, it was a $7 gesture.
Okay, alright, hold on a sec.
$7
Sean, you get this
cigar.
Sure.
Dude, I thought that was balling.
I
Smoke
thought
cigarettes.
I thought $7
I
for a
thought
good
this
cigar.
was
What?
How much is a good one?
$18,
18.
17, 20.
With $10,
20.
is it like it's that noticeable?
I mean, $7. I've never heard of this. What is this?
This is educational.
I can't
So
I'm getting old. I can't
is
even
it
read
like
this
it's like wine prices?
Oh, jeez, I almost dropped my tea. That would have been hilarious if I spilled tea on your couch while smoking a cigar. Woo, it's warm in here.
Yeah, geez.
That is warm.
Turn the fire down, would you? Now that's funny.